Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Dragon's Dogma. Last time we did the prologue and character creation, and today we are finally getting into the main part of the story, where our story is actually beginning. We're starting out in the town of Cassardus, a fishing village way at the edge of the kingdom, if even within it.
Hear ye! The prophets have spoken, friends. The dragon's return is nigh. Join the honourable Duke's ranks and help us be rid of the fell beast. The day's come to lay down rod and reel and take up the sword.
This is a fantasy RPG. You know it's not going to start out nice and friendly.
It's the dragon! Get to the boat! Quickly! Go! Pick up fire!
And what a dragon it is. Skyrim, eat your heart out. Alduin has nothing on this guy. Sure, in lore, Alduin's maybe really powerful and whatnot, but he's not very impressive. Alduin's really more like a drake. This is a dragon. A notable difference between the main character and everyone else around him. Right, so, our first battle against the major antagonist in the game. Dragon Beeg. Hey, big guy. Challenge the dragon. Yeah, sure. That's real smart. You know, that health bar is gonna be fun. And also our attacks are doing nothing to it. And if they are doing anything, it's not doing enough damage that we can even notice it. That was more of a how dare you smack.
Io acquarata misquierait. Acquarata de Dio mi esquarota junto la
Just, you know, very casually. Gonna rip out your heart. While you're still alive. And eat it while you watch. How's that for the opening of a game?
Take up arms, newly arisen.
Somehow, still alive. It is time for you to begin your journey as Arisen, but before you can win your heart back from the dragon, you'll need to prepare. Inside Chief Adaro's house, where there are very few survivors. Very few. Now we can just try to walk out, but...
Take up arms, Arisen. For my kind do not heed the Toothless.
The lines in this game are so simple, yet so very well written. I love that line. So, all these little rusty weapons and whatnot, let's have a look. And choose our class. Your vocation determines your basic attributes, wieldable equipment, and skills. Now, again, I am not going to be making an extensive coverage of this game, but I do want you to be a little bit informed if you're going to decide to play this game along with me, or if you just want to understand things a little bit better. So, in that respect, let's talk about the fighter first. The fighter does get the most hit points from every level up. Otherwise, it's mostly just physical. Very, very physical, which you would expect, but also there's a lot of magic stuff that you have to worry about as well. The fighter is just attack power. Until you get to level 10, you'll be getting 30 hit points for every level up, and then level 10 and up, you'll be getting 37 hit points. Stamina is 20 before level 10, and then 15 on every level up after that. Aside from that, magic attack only increases by 2, and no matter what, and your magic defense goes up by either 2 or 1 depending on where you are in that level 10 area. But after you get past level 10, your defense changes from 3 to 4 on every level up. Your attack power is consistently 4 points for every level up. I'm just kind of throwing these numbers out here so that you understand where the fighter is in comparison to the others as far as stat benefits. Whatever stats you gain on a level up, you will continue to have when you change over to a different class later on, should you choose to do so. And that's going to be a whole big other mess that we're going to worry about much later. But at least for now, understand that the fighter is focused on attack power. It is focused on defensive power. It is very physical. The Strider is your basic archery user. It does have daggers as well, which are the primary weapon, but think of it more as the bow, the long-range attacker. The Strider is probably the best that you could choose if you want to have a stamina-based build. It does gain like some other stats as it levels up, but everything else is very middling. Stamina, very high. Everything else, not remarkable. For the Strider, attack, defense, and magic attack all go up by 3. Magic defense goes up by 2 on every level up. Hit points, consistently 25. Stamina, 25. Again, not too bad. Focuses on stamina, but you're not going to be the best at any other thing in particular. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's talk about the mage. Oh, the poor mage. I want to love this class so much. I love magic-based classes and leveling up the magic classes in this as much as I do any other RPG system, like most people do.
I ain't asking for much.
But the mage is very, very weak. The point of choosing the mage is to have high magic attack and high magic defense. Magic attack will consistently go up by 4, magic defense goes up by 3 until you hit level 10, and then it will go up by 4 with every level up. Hit points are the lowest of any class in the game at 22. Stamina, also not so great at 20. After level 10, you'll be getting 21 in hit points and stamina with every level up. Attack and defense, 2 and 3 in the beginning, and then 2 and 1. Mage is not good. And really the mage is best as a support class, at least in my experience. The mage is mostly the best at supporting and keeping your other characters alive, or giving them elemental buffs to do more damage. It does have some attack options, but for the most part, it's just going to be shooting magic bolts with its staff the majority of the time. If you want a challenge in the beginning, go with the mage, but also I will warn you that based on how physically involved some of the combat is, the mage may not be a great choice for your first attempt if you really want to enjoy playing this game. With that in mind, going back to the fighter. The fighter is basically in-your-face combat. No magical skills. Maybe he learns some skills later on after he levels up. I don't immediately know. Like I've been saying, I am not fully involved with the extent of this game, and I want it to be that way. But the fighter is very much get in your face, deal damage, and stay alive. It has the defense, it has the attack power to get in, brawl with enemies a lot, and survive it. But that's about it. The fighter is very much, you know what you're getting when you play a fighter. Sword and board, stab and whack. That's about it. The Strider, personally, and you can change your mind on this if you want to, I believe that the Strider is maybe the best class to choose for the beginning of the game. There are some enemies that are flying around and you can target them as the mage, but you're not going to do a whole lot of damage to them. You can target enemies as the fighter, and if they start flying away, you're not going to be able to get them. Mostly because of the flying enemies, I always choose Strider, and I'm very glad that I chose the Strider for my first time playing through this game, because there are a few points where you want to hit targets that are not on the ground, and you kind of need to be a Strider for that. Sure, you could play as a mage, but locking on is not exactly easy. So I'm going to be going with the Strider. It has a couple of skills, Scarlet Kisses and Threefold Arrow. Augments, none. Take a look at the fighter just so that you can see what all we're working with. Don't worry about augments for now, but just keep in mind that there are augments that you can only unlock if you play certain classes. But I will be going with the Strider in the beginning. Newly Arisen. You can equip yourself with a primary and a secondary weapon. Primary weapons such as swords and daggers are combat essentials. Secondary weapons like bows and shields offer support. And then there's the staff, if you're a magic user, which, you know, they apparently didn't want to cover because they don't have a lot of faith in it either. After this point, we do have our equipment, and we also have newly repaired clothes. If we go into here, thank you for the Mithridate, we have rusted daggers and a rusted bow. Great faith in us, guys. For our torso, we have our regular shirt, repaired clothes. We also have the tatters that we were wearing earlier if we want to hold on to those. Now, obviously, you can see on the middle left that we have an encumbrance value. We can store some stuff later on so that we don't have to worry about picking up everything that we find in the beginning. But there are some unique pieces of equipment like the Fisherman's Tatters that if you like to hold on to those, sure, go for it. And I will say, just throwing it out there, the rusted weapons you might want to hold on to if you want a very particular play style later. I think we'll cover that later on. But even the rusted weapons have their uses, just not quite yet. We have our cloth greaves, and it's also worth pointing out, even though we have the greaves, if we check out the stuff up here, let me see if there's a way to... Not immediately, no. Okay, we'll cover that later, I suppose. Oh well, more things to talk about as time goes on. Had you an empty flask, you might fill it with water.
You say it left a glowing scar?
Yes. The wound has closed, and it seems the worst has passed, but his heart lies silent.
If you would face me.
You are sure of this?
Yes.
Ill magic, the work of some curse. The whole world's already gone mad for fear of this dragon. Won't no good come of this? I must go see to the others, Kina. Tell me if aught changes here.
All right.
Boo.
You should be abed. I wish you would not strain yourself so. I worry for you, cuz.
Tutorials. Well, before we leave, let's walk in here, walk around, see what we can find. Oh, look, a jug. Oh, look, a pie. A berry. There's actually a whole bunch of berries there, but it only let me take one. Greenware is important. Anything over here that I can take? Nope. Oh, don't worry, it's not thievery if nobody gets upset at you. Oh, there is a bucket. I'm not going to take that. We'll take this, though. Thank you very much. And now, let's step outside and get our first real look at Cassardus after the dragon attack. I love this music. It's very iconic for this place. A big old spot. Got some stuff down there that we can see from here as well. Those bearing green icons have new quests to offer. There are also oil jugs, not just water jugs. We'll worry about that later. In the meantime, let's go down here and start looking around, see what there is to see. We're not going to get very far today. We're just going to like look around and familiarize ourselves with things that are around here. But I will come over here and talk to this person.
I'd craft dressings for the wounded, had I the makings. If only I'd known. Cuz I need a favor. Can you fetch the flowers I need from outside the village? I need more of the one you see there. And one other sort besides. The more you can find, the better.
Available quests change as you progress through the game. Additionally, you can always consult the quest section of the pause menu for your current objectives. People with red icons appearing over their head have information relevant to your priority quest. If you have several quests ongoing at the same time, you can set one as priority in the quest section of the pause menu. Doing so will make all people, places, and things relative to the priority quest appear prominently on your minimap. And lots of other $4 words. If you recall, one might boil these pink ones to make medicine. I jump! Okay, let's get this thing started. First of all, let's come up around here. Purchase equipment and useful items from shops or wandering merchants you encounter on your travels. Thank you. I'm actually going to come in here and talk to this person.
I hear Benita has you picking flowers for her. Pray, just be cautious, cousin. The monsters grow bolder by night. If you must leave the village, go prepared. I do not fancy the thought of you going off on your own, but I trust in your judgment. If you come by the inn, you can always rest until the hour you wish to set out. In any case, take care. What can I do you for? As you will.
Let's deposit a couple things here. I'm not going to use the fisherman's tatters, so we'll just deposit that. Even though I picked this stuff up, not going to use a ceramic jug. Probably not going to use the festival pie, if I'm honest. This other stuff, we can hang on to it.
As you will. What can I do you for?
Thank you.
Now.
There's also a quest board over here. Okay, a notice board, fine. Which has little quests that we can undertake. You can take as many quests as you want at any one time, and you don't have to go back and turn them in every single time. For notice board quests, generally you take them, you complete them, and they are automatically completed and the rewards are given straight to you. In this case, they want us to defeat 10 bandits. We will get annealed stilettos for whatever that is. Yeah. So they just want us to clear out the bandits, and we get a reward for it. Sure, let's take that quest. A goblin raid. Just defeat 10 random goblins in Moon's Bit Pass. Sure, why not? We'll take that and finish it up whenever. Rat catcher. Slay 7 mice. Not rats. Not giant rats. Just mice. Easy. Slay 5 rabbits. Cruel, but it's with experience. And we can just do those as we play through the game. Next episode, I am going to be wandering off in this direction, and we will have a look at the different equipment that we can purchase going forward. While I wrap up this episode, let's come down here and look around the beach, see what kind of stuff we can maybe find. I think that there is something... Hello, birdies. Wish I'd noticed you before. Is there something here? There is not. However, there are fish, which will be a good spot to pick up next episode as I have some things I want to discuss. See you then and take care.